When we think of athletes, we think of fame, glory, and success. But sometimes, the people we admire on the field or in the ring cross a line, and that line is deadly. In today's video, we'll be diving into 10 shocking cases where athletes have killed someone. Whether it was an accident, self-defense, or something more sinister, these stories rocked the sports world and beyond. This is Depraved Heart. When athletes kill. Some of these cases ended in conviction, while others sparked heated debates. Make sure you watch until the end for the full list, and let us know in the comments if there are any other cases you remember that didn't make the cut. Let's get started. First up, O.J. Simpson. Perhaps the most infamous case of an athlete accused of murder. Simpson, a former NFL running back and actor, was charged with the murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman in 1994. The trial captivated the world, and despite significant evidence, Simpson was acquitted in what many call the trial of the century. However, in 2008, Simpson was convicted in a separate case involving robbery and kidnapping, which led to prison time, while Simpson walked free in the murder trial. The debate continues to this day about his guilt, and a 1997 civil court found him liable for the deaths. Aaron Hernandez was once a rising star in the NFL, playing for the New England Patriots. But in 2013, his career came crashing down when he was charged with the murder of Odin Lloyd, a semi-professional football player, and his acquaintance. Hernandez was convicted in 2015 and sentenced to life in prison without parole. A few years later, Hernandez was also implicated in 2 other killings. He died by suicide in his prison cell in 2017. This case stunned the sports world, as Hernandez's violent history was only revealed after his fall from grace. Oscar Pistorius was a Paralympic champion who became a symbol of triumph over adversity. But in 2013, he was charged with the shooting death of his girlfriend, Reeva Steenkamp. Pistorius claimed he mistook her for an intruder, but many disputed his story. He was initially sentenced to 6 years in prison, but after an appeal, his sentence was increased to 13 years. This case sparked debates over gun control, domestic violence, and the treatment of high-profile athletes in the justice system. Ray Lewis, an NFL legend and 2-time Super Bowl champion, was involved in a murder case in 2000. 2 men were killed after a fight outside a nightclub, and Lewis, along with 2 others, was charged with murder. The case was highly controversial, as Lewis took a plea deal, which allowed him to avoid a murder conviction in exchange for testifying against the others. To this day, some believe that Lewis got off lightly, while others argue there wasn't enough evidence to convict him. Despite this dark chapter, Lewis went on to have a Hall of Fame career. Jason Williams, a former NBA star, was convicted of manslaughter in 2002 after accidentally shooting his limo driver, Kostas Christofi, during a party at his home. Williams initially tried to cover up the incident, which added to the controversy surrounding the case. He was eventually sentenced to 5 years in prison, with the incident being labeled a tragic and preventable accident that forever tainted Williams's legacy. Chris Benoit, a professional wrestler, shocked the world in 2007 when he killed his wife and son before taking his own life. This tragic murder-suicide raised serious concerns about head trauma in contact sports, as Benoit had suffered numerous concussions over his career. The incident changed how professional wrestling and other sports address head injuries, but it also left a lasting scar on Benoit's legacy in the world of sports entertainment. In 2015, Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, was involved in a fatal car accident in Malibu that resulted in the death of 69-year-old Kim Hao. While no criminal charges were filed against Jenner, the incident led to a wrongful death lawsuit that was settled out of court. Many questioned whether Jenner received special treatment due to fame, adding another layer of controversy to this tragic event. Rubin Hurricane Carter was a middleweight boxer whose career came to a halt in 1966 when he was wrongfully convicted of a triple homicide. Carter spent nearly 20 years in prison before his conviction was overturned in 1985 due to lack of evidence and misconduct by the prosecution. His story became a symbol of racial injustice in the legal system, and his case inspired the famous song Hurricane by Bob Dylan, as well as a film about his life. Donté Stallworth, an NFL wide receiver, was involved in a fatal DUI accident in 2009 that killed a pedestrian in Miami. Stallworth was charged with DUI manslaughter, but ended up serving only 24 days in jail after a plea deal. The short sentence sparked outrage, though Stallworth settled with the victim's family and took full responsibility for the tragedy. He later became an advocate for responsible driving and use of alcohol. NASCAR legend Tony Stewart was involved in a tragic on-track incident in 2014 when he struck and killed fellow driver Kevin Ward Jr., who had exited his car after a crash to confront Stewart. The death was ruled accidental, and Stewart was not criminally charged. However, many debated whether Stewart acted recklessly, given his aggressive racing style. The incident raised questions about the safety protocols in motorsports and how drivers' tempers can escalate to fatal consequences. These stories remind us that even those at the pinnacle of athletic success are not immune to the darker side of human nature. From accidents to intentional acts, these athletes' legacies are forever altered by the lives they've taken. What do you think? Did these athletes get what they deserved, or do you feel that some cases were handled unfairly? Let us know in the comments below. And if there are other cases you know of that we didn't cover, share them with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of sports and scandal. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.